Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, your Venus. This is your February message. I'm so excited to get into this. I'm so excited to film it. I was literally hearing, I heard dun dun dun, but not in a scary way. I didn't even want to start off with that, and it just came out first anyway, whatever. And then I saw this image of walking down the street and being like, I'm gonna go this way. And then going this way, like the flip of the dime. I don't think that's how you say it. A turn of events, but in the spur of the moment. Puts me on a completely different trajectory, but it helps me from going down the same path that I felt like I was going down over and over and over again. It's kind of like, I feel like if you had ever dealt with feeling like Groundhog's Day or like something kind of lingering, Did You Have to Let It Linger by the Cranberries is playing in my head. On a turn of a dime, I feel like, I'm gonna go this way actually. And then I go that way, and then it changes the course of everything. Helps me complete something, especially with completion. Taurus energy on the bottom of here, you could have Taurus placements or be dealing with Taurus signs. It could be Taurus rising. I'm not gonna get too far into that. However, let's see what's going on. Themes for February for Leo. It's like, I feel like you don't even, the funny thing is like you're oblivious or naive to the fact that you're taking a risk in some way, shape, or form. Fifth house, your energy, Taurus. Again, you literally could be dating a Taurus or connecting to someone with Taurus energy, or you have Taurus energy, like I said. Cancer, Taurus energy, Cancer energy. See, intuition to protect, I'm telling you. On the flip of it, I'm literally seeing like, it's as if I'm like in my own zone, drinking a smoothie, a latte, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go this way. And I don't think twice about it. And I don't have to. That's almost like, I feel like symbolic. There's something that you're going to do that you don't think twice about. And it's you're in total alignment. You're in total alignment. You're in total alignment. That's just what I'm getting. Intuitively, and the funny thing is I don't even think you realize it. Like, I feel like you kind of know, but like there's just something where like you maybe even are gonna recognize how much you are in alignment. Power of love. Even then, I feel like there's this feeling of not wanting to get too serious with something. Do not stop something from working before it even sees itself into fruition too. High Priestess, I'm telling you, there's something about you being so intuitively connected, but it's so like, it's like you recognize or discover that a gift you have is just like that clear knowing. But it's not something that you're using logic to understand or rationalize or conceptualizing it. Just something that exists that you'll realize, I've had this all along. And my own self-doubt got in the way. I even feel like there was a part of you that maybe had been keeping yourself from enjoying life, or because even the Sun in reverse landing on top of Taurus with the Three of Pentacles, to me it's kind of like, I have to work hard or I have to stay focused. And I feel like some limits that you may have placed on yourself were because you were afraid of being hurt. And if you allowed yourself to enjoy, that would lead to greater opportunity to be hurt. There's a change in direction, literally. But it's not, oh my God, that's crazy. This card over here, because I have decks all the way over there that I'm not using for this, but baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Literally. That's literally what I'm getting. I wonder what, okay, let's see. I think completion on the bottom here. So Leo, what's going on for Leo this February? There's also something that I feel like you're not meant to avoid. When you avoid it, it gets louder, but when you more so release it, it goes away. It silences. Releasing is silence, avoiding is loud. Relationship change. It even feels like I'm not walking down the same street that I used to walk with you. There's something significant. You having a new reality. Time out, love, intuition. There could just be this epiphany that happens for you this month too, to where you're like, I think it's time to let it die. I think it's time to let myself be free. I almost feel like there's a recognition of where you're holding yourself back from your own wins, or even appreciating or enjoying yourself and kind of overgiving to another. Even in thought space alone, I just feel like there's this, I'm gonna go a different way today. And it changes everything. Let's see. I want to elaborate on that, but I'm like, what deck do I want to use? Okay. 8th house, coming into deep power too, 11th house. Also something that you're doing, the balance that you have, following your own. you're doing this without even realizing it. I'm telling you, there's something that you're naturally doing that you don't even realize. But that's exactly, it's almost like you may have gone in your head a little bit too much about everything else. So with this, it's like you're distracted in your head about this thing over here, so much so that you naturally just like don't even want to think about anything else anymore. And then you go over here because you're not thinking and over processing and hyper analyzing and kind of continuing to let your past influence your present choices. And now I feel like you're letting your future self influence your present choices, if that makes sense. So now it's like I'm making different moves, or I'm going down this different path because I'm in alignment in a different way. And I'm also not overthinking anymore. There's something about letting go of overthinking too. 6 of Wands. When I split the deck. Okay, what is this pertaining to? Your intuition. See, attitudes from the past are out. I definitely feel like you're shifting. I feel like you genuinely made moves from your past lens out of protection or defense or just insight awareness. And now you're like, I'm gonna actually create a new reality because I see what happens when I continue to let the past influence my present. It remains. So I'm gonna like do something different. I'm gonna do this different. I'm gonna try new food. Like if you always get the same latte at this restaurant girl, cafe, getting a new latte, those kinds of things. Or if you are looking forward to this meal and you love this food, try something new. To me, I feel like try something new, you'll find your new favorite. That's it. Try something new, you'll find your new favorite. You guys. High Priestess flew out. You have to stop doubting yourself, get out of your own way. You are more equipped with the truth than anyone else. Another thing too, if you're coming into your own truth and realizing that you hold the answers and you're taught or you've been externally guided previously, or if you look to the external for confirmation that you're on the right path, you're going to be in a new position to where you don't want to see the external anymore, especially because it feels like it may start to feel like it's, I wouldn't say rejecting you or going against you. It feels more so like you're going to have to go through a stream, if you haven't already, because it kind of feels like for some of you, you've already been going through this, where you do not look at the external to tell you that you're doing a good job or this tastes good or it's a good idea. You have to know it. There's something about you have to know. You have to know. 3 of Wands. Step out of your comfort zone too. Try new things. Get creative. Become a visionary. Ace of Swords, 6 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. If you really want to let go of the past, I also feel like there's an energy too of stop putting things so far out in the future. Because things can happen quickly. And it's just a matter of you aligning with something different. 3 of Wands. The ship, the seeds that you planted are on their way. The ship is setting out to sail. Follow your intuition. Listen. Because now having this clarity and this trust in yourself, you'll be able to make moves faster. You won't waste time in your head about things and then inevitably make a choice. You know what I mean? You're going to be more decisive, quicker in decision, quicker on your feet too. You're gonna know exactly where to move, and you're not gonna be afraid if it seems like the more intimidating option. I feel like you're really gonna be breaking out of your comfort zone this month and not choosing things because it's what you know, I feel like there's a part of you that's like, I'm being forced to change or to do things in a different, new way, and that's what's gonna bring my manifestations. It's almost like the universe is dangling, I wouldn't even say they're dangling a carrot. It kind of feels that way though, where it's like, come over here, you're being enticed somewhere else or called somewhere else or in a new direction, so you can have what you desire, because what you desire doesn't exist where you are or where you've been. This is going to be like a trial and error month for sure, and to not look at it like there's also something about something taking more time to reveal that it was the right job. Again, there has to be more trust in yourself. You have to not hold on to an outcome this month and look at that as a marker that you're on the right path or doing the right thing. That's going to be the biggest thing, is tuning in internally. You are the one who knows. You are the one who knows. What else for Leo? Three of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. I also feel too, because the 3 of Cups came out first, then the 4 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, and then the 3 of Swords, the Tower, Death. You will keep yourself trapped in somebody else's pattern of attraction when you make moves with someone else as the focal point of your motive. Meaning, if you're trying to get back at someone and you're doing things or posting certain things or those types of things, if you're trying to get someone's attention, they're gonna swamp your life. Or if you're afraid to move forward or do what you're called to do because of someone else, you don't want them to hurt. When you keep someone at the pinnacle or the forefront or the focal point of your decision making, you're living life for someone else. You can still go do the things and go have fun, but if you're doing it out of a place of pain, it's just going to amplify the pain. Do you see what I'm saying? Change your perspective on how you're doing things this month too. Even if you are heartbroken or going through and it was unexpected or devastating, that you can honor that for sure, and also at the same time choose to do things that make you feel good from the position of, I'm doing this because it'll make me feel good. You know what I mean? Versus like, I'm going to get back at them. This is going to piss them off, or they're going to feel it, or they're going to get it back. Because really the only person who gets whipped is you when you do something to spite another or to get back at another, or we're like worried about how another's going to respond. You know, you have to come back to your own self, because the truth of the matter is your subconscious is using them as the focal point, the placeholder, to keep you in a certain position so you will not achieve your potential. You're meant to achieve your potential. Oh my God, do I have to sneeze? A bee just flew up. It's like when you keep your mind centered around them or what's going on or this heartbreak, it keeps you stuck. It does. And I feel like there's a part of you that's meant to break free. It reminds me of even this morning how in the ISIS deck, I love that deck by Alana Fairchild, the notification popped up on my phone, time for a reading at 8 o'clock. And that happens every morning at 8 o'clock. So I clicked it and I was like, yes, now's the time. And then the magical, the healing chamber, I believe. Anyway, there was a whole process. So I did it, and I thought, and it was like, put any emotion into the crystal before you bury it, right? And I thought I was going to, like, I wasn't processing emotion. Like, I wasn't sad. I wasn't feeling anything sad. And I thought I would be, because I had kind of like been living in it. And I was releasing like an ex, for example. And then later on, I was like, that's weird. I was kind of just like, because it was like release the emotion into the crystal. And then I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing ever came out. So I was like, okay. And then when I was getting ready after that, I was listening to this reading from Hiii Leo. Funny enough. That's not clicking. And she was very much like, you've done the work, like you've been doing it for a long time. You may feel like you don't have any more emotion to purge. You don't have to purge any more emotion. You can just be in the receptive mode now. And I was like, and literally even now I got chills from that. Anyway, it was just like, whoa. Sometimes you don't have to, you think that you're in a certain state or still sad about it or still grieving or still like nostalgic or apathetic. Because I didn't feel like I was sad. I haven't been sad. It's been more so like apathetic. And then I had to literally stop myself this morning. And I love how I communicate with myself internally, or my guides communicate with me too, because it's very to the point, very blunt. You know, they'll let me kind of go off in like delusion for a little bit of like the set, and then they're gonna remind me real quick, like, you didn't even want to be in it anymore. Hello, don't you remember? That's what I was getting, like, don't you remember? You didn't even like it. You didn't even have fun. You didn't even have a good time. So that's another thing too, and that could be applicable to you this month, where you're romanticizing something that was no good, that you wanted out of, low key. Did you want things to change? Sure, we can honor that, but they didn't, and so you're being set free. Now you can have what you wanted. You know what I mean? Without all of the resounding resentment or irritation that someone took this long to change. You know what I mean? You get to be in love purely. What if that was the last step? However this applies. To me, it feels like you don't have to go into it like pre-paving. Valentine's Day is going to be so sad because I'm going to be single. What the fuck? This is your life to live. You're the main character forever, especially being Leo. Whatever you say goes. So do not pre-pave something being more chaotic before it's even here. That's gonna be one of the biggest things too. Be in the moment, be in the now, because you're gonna save yourself a lot of presupposed anxiousness and depressive thoughts and those types of things when you're like, you don't know how you're gonna react when Valentine's Day comes. Deal with it when Valentine's Day gets here. You don't know how you're gonna react when their first birthday, you don't know how you're gonna react. So one of the greatest lessons I've learned too, and I feel like important to share with you in this moment, is there's been so many times where I was grieving the loss of something before I actually lost it, like the inevitable ending. And it took away so much time that I could have spent while I had it, enjoying it, living in it, being where I was. You know what I mean? So what they're saying is, do not grieve something before it gets here. If you're going through a breakup and it's like, oh, I'm never going to be able to have this food with them again. Thank you. You have to kind of start. You have to nip that in the bud before it grows its own. You know, like when a vine loses sense of control and it takes over the whole house. Like, you can't let something take you over, thought-wise. Intuitively, follow a different path. You're going to be set up so much more beautifully. And this and that are true. Some things can feel very unfair. Like, this is being taken away from me. Like, I'm going through heartbreak. I shouldn't be going through this. But then also at the same time, you can know that, okay, you can feel both is essentially what I'm saying. And at the same time, you can know that, okay, I'm being set up for better. This is also, I feel free finally. You know what I mean? You can feel more than one thing at once. Love partnership, spiritual partnership. That's the difference. Communication. Someone who you guys communicate energetically too, to where it's like you don't even have to express your needs to them. They can feel it. They know exactly what you require. You guys communicate with energy. I know you're probably like, okay, girl. Seriously though. You know, I feel like you dealt with people where it's like you had to talk to them or tell them, especially with all this orange too, sacral chakra receiving, a difficulty in expressing your true needs. And now you're going to be with someone now that you realize that your needs are going to be met now that you've been freed from the situation. Rebirth. You're going to be with someone who can answer your needs before you even realize that you require them. 26, 27, that's interesting. Because it goes from a love partnership to where it's like somewhat superficial, or I'm projecting it to you better than it really is. And then moving to a spiritual partnership, a union type of energy. To where it's like we're working together as it should be, you know? And do not doubt or question anyone that comes into your into your life this month. Your mind too. Everything plays a purpose. Become the observer instead of the doer. Because you're going to be doing anyway, but when you're too logical about things, you might stop yourself from taking a leap. If it was a yes at first, it's a yes. If it was a no, it's a no. Like, it feels like do not talk yourself into anything or out of anything. Unless you genuinely know like it's not right. You're the high priestess this month. I love that, Leo. I hope you have the most beautiful February. Thank you so much for everything. Also, there's going to be a full moon in your sign. So purge anything that's holding you back from being you. And that could be living life according to what you believe other people need or want you to be like. No more. Your life to live now. I love